This month I was supposed to work on my house and then I got incredibly sick, but I did watch a lot of anime, so let's talk about that instead. I mentioned last month that the plumber would be coming to do some work. They were going to come and fit the shower, and that, for the most part, went to plan. He came and fit the shower. It was a bit of a mess. There were sometimes when some pieces went on in the wrong order and little bits like that, but it was hardly a big deal. It was less complicated than a lot of other things in the house have been, but for the most part, it's done. He was going to come back the week after to fit the radiators and do a little bit more work on the shower, mostly because I told him it wasn't a big deal that we didn't have like a fully working shower because we weren't living there, but we just needed it done, so he was going to come and back and do all of that as like one big job. But the day after he left, I got really ill. I think I just got the flu, but I had a really bad fever, and at first, the day he finished doing the shower, I came home and my nose felt a bit weird, but that was about it. But I felt like I was maybe getting a bit sick, and then the day after, I couldn't breathe properly. And then a couple of days after that, my nose was okay, but then I started coughing. And from that point onwards, I just didn't stop. I coughed for about 2 weeks straight. I just got a chest infection immediately after getting the flu or whatever it was. I know it wasn't COVID, because I tested, but just got the flu or something. But I just had like a fever the entire way through. So I was like boiling constantly and could not stop coughing. And I coughed to the point where I like pulled all the muscles, basically from the neck down. So it meant that I couldn't cough while standing up, because if I coughed while I was stood up, I would just collapse because my muscles couldn't properly, you know when you cough in it, like you like tense up, my muscles couldn't properly do the tension, so they'd like try and then fail and I'd just fall. It's mostly gone now. I still am coughing a little bit, but partway through that I just completely lost my voice. So there's like about a week and a half's worth of videos where I just sound really strange. The weird parts of it was that I couldn't talk at my normal speed because the words just would stop coming out after a little bit. So I'd have to talk and then have a drink and then I'd be able to get through the next half of my sentence. So one of the reasons why my videos sound weird is they were actually like in bigger chunks. It's a 15-second long video, but I was having to do it like 5 seconds at a time and then stitch it together. And I also found there were certain words I couldn't say together because if a word started and ended with like the same sound, my voice just stopped. Can't remember what it was now, but I couldn't say the word even and then another word after it, but I can't remember what it was, but I couldn't say the word even in that word because my voice would just cut out. But yeah, for the most part, I'm okay now. Mostly got my voice back. I do keep cutting out randomly though. Like every now and again, I'll go for a word and my mouth will move and the air will come out, but no sound will come with it, which is a bit disconcerting. So I got better, and then obviously because I was ill, I told him not to come, so we still don't have radiators, but he said just to ring him as soon as I was better. But then I was going to get better and ring him, but then it was patch week for 14, so I had to do that. And now it's this week. I'm back at the house this week, but I'm going to do some tidying first and then ring him, because after that I'm pretty much free, except for I've got my birthday next week, and the week after is my wedding anniversary, so I'm busy those days. But besides that, I'm pretty much free whenever now, so hopefully fit the radiators then. While I was sick though, I ended up watching quite a lot of anime. I only watched 3, but I watched all of them. Which I actually only even started watching anything because I watched a video about the samples in the song Otonoke by Creepy Nuts, which is the OP for Dandadan. And it's just a really good song. I just ended up listening to the song a lot. And then because I was listening to the song, I ended up trying the anime and catching up with all of that. But at the time when I was watching it, I didn't realise that it was new. So I didn't realise it was like a week-to-week thing, you know, like a normal release schedule. Because I tend to watch all of my anime just after it's done, so I can watch everything in one go. So I ended up catching up with that, and then watching some others in between episodes while I waited. I've been enjoying Dandadan a lot. It's really good. The last episode that came out like really fucked me up. Obviously isn't the newest episode, because this comes out on a Friday, but the one from the week before this was I don't know how to describe it, the one with the dancer, and just really fucked me up. It's just really sad. It was really good. I'm enjoying it so far. So far, all of the ghosts have been reflections on like violence on women, and I don't know if that's intentional. Are all of them going to be like that? What I mean is it all going to be the ghosts are aspects of violence and these two have been violence upon women, or are they all going to be violence upon women? I don't even know if it's an intentional thing, but it's just interesting. So after that, I watched up to episode 5, and then between 5 and 6 I watched all of Spy X Family, or is it Spy Cross Family? I don't really care. I watched all of that, which I enjoyed, but I also find it really weird. Because, like, the first half of the show is, like, a spy drama with family stuff, and the second half of the show is a slice-of-life family thing with spy stuff. And I don't mind either. It just felt like it flipped in the middle. And again, I don't really mind, but I just wasn't expecting it. Like, we went from quite a lot of story progression at the start to, I feel like, not very much in the second half. And I don't know, it wasn't bad. Like, I still like the show. I just thought it was a weird flip. I feel like the balance could have been a bit better. And then after I was done with that, I still wanted to watch some more, so I watched all of Dungeon Meshi. I enjoyed that too. I don't really know what to think about it, to be honest. It's not that it was bad, I did enjoy it, but I also feel like it could have... I just don't feel like the pacing was great. But then again, I feel like that about anime in general a lot of the time. It's actually one of the reasons why I wait for them to finish so I can watch them all in one go. Because it's more like watching a big film rather than a load of episodes, because a lot of the time I feel like the episodes end in weird places and stuff. Like, I just found the pacing a bit odd. I feel like some things needed more time and some needed less. I realise that's quite like a surface criticism, but I don't really know how to phrase it. I liked it. I didn't like it as much as I wanted to like it. Part of me was more interested in them just going around and eating the foods and, like, you know, cooking all the meals out of the monsters and stuff. I found that more interesting than the actual plot, which isn't to say the plot was bad. I just was more interested in that aspect of it. I'm done with that now, and I'm still watching Dandadanime as the episodes come out. I kind of still want to watch more, but I've been catching up with other stuff that I've missed recently, and then, like I say, watching new episodes of Dandadanime when they come out. At some point, I still need to watch... I've not watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners yet. Like, that's been out for years, and I just never got around to watching it, so I might do that at some point. But yeah, not really sure, but might watch them more. You've probably noticed that this was early again, and it's for basically the same reason as last month. Writing scripts just takes me a lot longer than I always expect it to, and especially because this month's video is going to be, like, a pretty big edit. Like, there's a lot of footage for me to go through as well. Even if I'd managed to get the script done in time, I wouldn't have been able to get the edit done before it was supposed to come out, so it just made more sense to have this up and give me an extra week to work on that. This is not a habit I want to get into, and it's also not something I want to do intentionally. Like, I don't want to swap these around, because I know that all that will do then is mean that I will put off writing scripts even longer, and then the videos just won't get done at all. Whereas at least this way, swapping them around means that if that isn't done on time, I can bring this forward and it gives me extra time to work on that. It's also one of the reasons why a lot of the time I've been doing other short things, is because I don't give myself enough time to work on the scripts and then end up panicking and doing something else instead. Now, I don't dislike those videos. I like them, but it's also not always the stuff I would like to have made. I don't want to say I like making the scripted videos more, because I actually find them really stressful, and I feel worse about them when they don't do well, because they take so much more work from me and I find them so hard, and then I make them and no one watches them. So when it's one of the videos where it's just like me doing something I felt like doing anyway, one of those ones where it was like me making the Warhammer models, that was just, I want to do this anyway, so I'll film it and talk about it while I do it. That sort of video, if it doesn't do well, I'm just like, well, I was going to do it anyway, and this way I've got a video out of it, that's good. Whereas when it's one of those scripted videos, it's like, I'm doing this because I really want to make it, and then when it doesn't do well, then I feel more upset. I've spoken before that I only make things because I want to make things, and if I was only making things for attention or whatever, there would be no point in me making stuff, because I do not get enough attention for it to feel good. But that doesn't mean when it does badly, it doesn't upset me. A lot of the times I can just pass it off as, like, say, I was going to do this anyway, I don't really care. But when it's stuff like that, the only reason I'm making it is because I want to make a video about it, so kind of want it to do well. Speaking of, that video last month is doing better than a normal video would, so that's nice. Like, every now and again one of my videos does do decently. It was also a bit weird to watch multiple people release basically the same video at the same time. I'm not some, like, big deal, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that I made a video about Echoes of Wisdom. I released it at the same time as, like, multiple other channels released a very similar videos. And, like, obviously wasn't planned. I just found the timing amusing more than anything. I figured everyone else would have gotten theirs out earlier because I have a very specific release schedule. So I figured a lot of other people would have gotten theirs out earlier. And then it turns out, no, we all just took the exact same amount of time to make them as everyone else. Similarly, actually, I found out recently that someone else, can't remember who it was now. It's someone I don't watch, which is why I don't remember. But someone else has made a video about a topic that I have been writing a script about on and off for quite a while. And in some ways it's nice, because if someone who is obviously better at this than I am, and, like, more popular and, like, just, like, better at it than I am, like I said, if someone who's, like, better at this than me has similar ideas to me, that implies to me it's a good idea. But at the same time, now that someone else has made it, do I really want to? Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. It's one of those things where it's like, if I do it now, it's just going to seem like I'm copying whatever they've said. Even if I don't watch the video, which I'm not going to. If I don't watch it and then release mine, if there's any point that is even vaguely similar, which from the context I understand at the moment it would be, it is just going to seem like I'm copying them. And especially if I made really popular videos and someone smaller than me made a video and then I made a video on a similar topic, I could at least reach out to him first and just be like, hey, I've made this thing, it wasn't copying you. And then I can put a thing in saying, oh, like, look at this. But I feel like from the other way around, it's always going to look like I'm just copying the bigger person. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess it works either way, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I were to reach out to this person and say, I have worked on an incredibly similar script to you and I'm still going to make my video, I just wanted to say, I'm not copying you, there's a decent chance they won't even know. Like, they'll never even see it. But I feel like if it was the other way around, if I reached out to a smaller person and said, I'm not copying you, I just happen to have this incredibly similar script, at least you could give them sort of forewarning or something. Again, like, that way around it could negatively affect the smaller person, but this way around it doesn't do anything. I think, actually, no, it still negatively affects the smaller person, it's just in this example, I'm the smaller person. Anyway, in terms of my other videos, I'm actually getting pretty close to the end of Dead Souls now. I say that, I finished it months ago, but in terms of episodes coming out, we are just about to start Kiryu's chapter and just end Ryuji's. And then there's only a couple of episodes. I think there's maybe 10 episodes left, if that. I have not decided yet what's going to happen after that, because I know when it's going to end, and I'm going to take my week break, but that means that I would have 5 episodes of a new LP out. Now, if I can do something short, like if I can do a game that is short, that I could get done in 5 episodes and a half hour, I'll do that. But if I can't, then do I even want to do anything? I never want to have an LP stretch years. I know I've done that with Monster Hunter, but there was no way around that. But with this, I'm not sure. So I guess you'll find out. Because that would probably be before next month's podcast anyway. I've got the scripted video coming out next week, which I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I've already mentioned working on that. And next month, I'm just going to tell you what the scripted video is, because I've already told you what the scripted video is. It's going to be my Game of the Year video, because I still haven't made it. And there's no more year left. I can't really do a Game of the Year. Well, I mean, I can, but I don't want to do a Game of the Year 2023 and 2025. So I need to do that for next month. My shorts have been doing better recently. I still have no idea why. Nothing's changed on my end. Shorts are still just utterly baffling to me. I've literally changed nothing. The style of the video hasn't changed, the length hasn't changed, the release time hasn't changed. Everything stayed the same, and yet I'm getting more views than I used to. I mean, I'm not complaining I'm getting more views, I'm complaining I'm getting more views and have absolutely no idea why, because it just reinforces the fact that there's nothing I can do about any of this. You know what I mean? I could advertise my things more, but that only does so much. Speaking of, actually, the Castlevania videos, I know there's been quite a few of them. It wasn't a plan, and I also don't like having this many sponsored videos out, especially because one of the reasons why I don't like doing so many sponsored videos is it's not like I get paid for them. If I was getting paid for them, at least I would not feel as bad about showing so many sponsored videos, but I'm not even getting paid for these. But seeing as Konami gave me the key for the collection, I've been going through each game, and then as I finish the game, I've been doing the review for it. But also because Konami gave me the collection, I have to say Konami gave me the collection in each of these, so that's just what's happening. I think on a technical level, I could finish the DS versions that I own and talk about those, and I wouldn't have to say Konami gave me the key for the Dominus collection, but it will look like I'm doing that. It'll look like I'm playing the Dominus collection games, even if I'm not. So I may as well just do it like this. It wasn't exactly a plan, but I've only got like 2 games left in the collection now. I'm most of the way through Order of Ecclesia, actually. Pretty close to the end of it. I'm like 3/4 of the way through or something. I just unlocked the large cavern. I did the training hall, and I've got the large cavern to do. And I just don't think I care. So I might just finish the game without doing that, because I just don't care enough. I gave it 1 run, and I'm like, wow, this is bad, and I don't want to go back. And then there's Haunted Castle, which I'm definitely not doing the original version of that. I might do the revisited version, but I'm not even sure about that at the moment, because it's not the sort of Castlevania I enjoy. But I've been told it's pretty short, so I might just try and do it anyway. And then I think besides all of that, everything's just going to carry on as normal. Special thanks to all of my patrons. You can join them over at patreon.com/Holden Gatsby, and for $1 a month you'll get to see what I'm working on early and get exclusive roles in my Discord along with other rewards I might think of. You can also just follow me there if you want to for free, as it's probably the best place to see all of my content as soon as it's available. There's links to the Patreon along with my Discord, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, and all the other podcast platforms in the description for this episode. Finally, don't forget you can email me using podencastby@gmail.com if you've got anything you want to say. Thanks for sticking around. Bye. Special thanks to my patrons, Justin Wood, Hobbs, and Koopy Vegeta. You can join my patrons at patreon.com/Holden Gatsby, check out my TikTok and Twitter at Holden Gatsby, and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Holden Gatsby. Don't forget to subscribe to all of my channels. If you want more, you can watch my last video now, but if not, then thanks for sticking around. Bye.